Okay, in this lesson, let's see how we identify or how we come up with a formula for the general term of a certain number pattern. So, when you say general term, you won't understand it right now. Let me explain it to you. So, now for example, let's say there's a number pattern like 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. So, let me draw the serial number. So, now this is the first number of this number pattern. So, this is the second number, this is the third number, this is the fourth number. Okay. So, let me draw a table here. So, this is the serial number. And this is the actual value of terms. Okay. So, value of the terms in the number pattern. Right. Okay. So, now the first number in this number pattern is 3, the second number in the number pattern is 5, the third number in the number pattern is 7, fourth is 9 and so on. So, now let's say we want to find out what is the 50th term is in this number pattern. So, do we go on writing, okay, the 5th is such and such a number, the 6th is such and such a number. So, that's not practical. It's a very cumbersome term. Or let's say someone asks, what is the 75th term in this number pattern? So, to calculate this, we need to come up with the general term of this number pattern. How do we do that? So, what we have to do is we have to express the values, or we have to come up with a formula how the terms of this number pattern is calculated in terms of the first term of a number pattern and the difference between two successive terms. So, now in a previous lesson I told you, so this is the first term in a number pattern, and how do we calculate the difference between two successive terms? So, if you take 3 and 5 or 5 and 7 or 9 and 7, so those are two successive terms. So, let me take 5 and 7. So, if you take 5, you know this is the antecedent term, and this is the consequent term. So, how do I calculate the difference between two successive terms? First, you take the consequent term, which is 7, minus the antecedent term, which is 5, equals 7 minus 5 equals 2. So, now this is the difference between two successive terms. So, if you take 7 and 9, that will also be the same. If you take 3 and 5, the difference between will be 2. So, we have now the first term and the difference between two successive terms. So, based on this, let's see how each term in this number pattern is calculated. So, the first term is anyway, let me erase this so you don't get distracted. So, anyway, here the first term is 3. So, let me say value in terms of first number. So, here anyway the value is 3. So, when it comes to 5, how do we calculate the value of this term? So, 3 plus 2. Okay. So, 3 plus 2 equals 5. Then the next in terms of 3, so it's 3 plus 4. So, how do we calculate this? What does this actually mean? So, actually, now let's take this. So, it's 3 plus, so we have the difference between two terms. So like I said, the difference between two successive terms was 2. So 7 minus 5 was 2. So we take the difference between two successive terms, and here we start with 0. Okay. So 2 into 0 is 0, 0 plus 3 is 3. So here you have the first term. So how did we get this 2? 2 into 1. So 2 into 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5. So here 3 plus 2 into 2. Okay. So 2 into 2 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. So do you now see a pattern here actually? So do you actually see a pattern here, especially in this? So here now we have to calculate the nth term, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 and whatever term we want, and here we have this. Now note that here n here is always 1 less than n. The value here in this column is always 1 less than n. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1 is 2. So here we have n. Here we always have n minus 1. Okay. So how do we calculate? How do we come up with the general term of this number pattern? So we already have a formula. So here, we always need the we call this the nth term or the general term is equals always the first term plus, here we have 2, that's the difference between two successive terms, 2 into n minus 1. So this is the general term of this number pattern. Okay. So here if we substitute any of these values. So let's say I want to find out the fourth term of this number pattern. So n will be 4. So n equals 4. That means the fourth term is that is the nth term. So if n equals 4, 3 plus 2 into 4 minus, so n is 4, remember, 4 minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, so we have 3 plus 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, so we have 3 plus 6 is 9. So the fourth term is 9. So like this, now let's say we want to calculate the 50th term. So n will be 50. So we want to calculate the 50th term of this number pattern. N will be 50. So the 50th term. So 3 plus 2 into, so n is 50 here, 50 minus 1. Okay. So what do we have here? 49 into 2 is 98. So 3 plus 98 equals 101. So the 50th term of this number pattern is 101. So you don't have to go on writing a number pattern until 50 or 75 or whatever number it is. If we can come up with these numbers, and if we can arrive at the general term or the nth term of a certain number pattern,